So by now we all know that Vegas is down 7% for tourism over the past year. One of the big factors has been international tourism, specifically people from Canada. So just a bit of an expectation for you. I'm going to take the stance of what a famous conservative once said, which is that facts don't care about your feelings. And in this video, we're going to look at facts, stats, numbers. And so half of you will be offended sometimes and half of you will be offended other times. And all of you will fight in the chats. But we're going to explore Canada in particular, international tourism, and the whole sticky, ugly, messy situation that is going to cause Vegas to miss out on billions of dollars. And spoiler alert, you're going to pay for it. Even if you live in Sandusky, Ohio, they're going to come for your money. Let's get to it. 1, 2, 3, and action. So before we jump into that, let's talk about a tale of the tape, so to speak. How did we get to where we are? How do the stats look? Well, as we've explained, every month since January of this year has been down anywhere between a few percentage points all the way up to nearly 13%. And that's down versus the same month last year. What that means is that there are literally 2 million people that are missing from Vegas. They have just vanished. They're not here anymore. What that means is that these casino properties are going to go after their revenues from somewhere. They have to make their money. They don't know where they're going to get it. And they're going to get it from you. They've been milking you and people are pushing back, clapping back on social media. A lot of you guys watching me internationally are also afraid. They're scared to death to come to the United States. So you're staying home, even though the economy where you live might be great or might not, in the case of our biggest visitor, Canada. So that's where we sit today. We don't have the stats yet for August. We will get those at the end of September. Subscribe to this channel, become 1% smarter if I help you become 1% smarter. I'm that YouTuber that asks you to subscribe 5 times. Don't rage quit me. If I don't do it, you won't do it. And we'll be talking about that when they come out. But first up, let's talk about Canada. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. How are they doing? Why are they not coming here, and how important are they to the city? Maybe not even in that order. I don't know. It's my second time recording this whole thing. It's been a mess, but let's get into it. All right, so we're over here in the Valley at Caesars Palace. We have a Mercedes-Benz CL300. We have a Tesla. What is this here? This is going to be a Kia. Oh, that's not impressive. Ooh, but look at that, a Rolls-Royce. That's nice. So $13 billion. $13 billion. That's a lot of money, right? $13 billion is what comes into Vegas from international tourists, I guess, every single year. And Canadians are responsible for 3-point-something billion dollars of that money. And right now, because Canadian tourism is down like 27, 37%, something like that. I'll put the graphics on the screen. It's causing a lot of concern, to say the least. Canadians come to Vegas because it's simple to come. I mean, 80 some odd percent of Canadians live within a few hour drive from the United States border just because that's where it's warmer. I'm not stereotyping you. I'm from Canada. I'm telling you the way it is. Those are stats, look them up. And when they don't come here, we have some major problems happening. Those major problems are going to contribute to things like 15,000 jobs being gone possibly from our economy. And we get there by taking the average that the Canadian spends, which is probably more than you. Because Canadians will spend 4 or 5 nights here and you're spending 3.5. I don't know how people spend a half night in Vegas. And they'll spend a couple $1,000s, if not $3,000 in town. And when we do the math, yeah, that equates about 15,000 jobs worth of full-time employment in places like the Strip. Now, Canadians are hopping mad. But is it just because they're mad at Donald Trump that they're not coming to Vegas? That's a good question. It's something that nobody ever talks about. So we're going to go into facts versus feelings mode and discuss the real situation in Canada and how it may be contributing to Canadians not visiting. So I suppose it's a good idea to talk about this guy, Donald Trump, for a minute and how he might play into the sentiment in Canadians and kind of bring you up to speed as to why so many Canadians are online maybe bad-mouthing you. You might notice this. You're like, wait, I never did nothing to a Canadian. I love maple syrup. What the hell? Well, Donald Trump came into office around the same time that Canada had a very unpopular guy named Justin Trudeau in office. And because Justin Trudeau was so unpopular, the Canadians did a bit of a switcheroo for their candidate for their upcoming election on the Liberal side. And that would be like the Democrat Party of Canada. But they don't have one. It's called the Liberal Party. And the first thing that this guy who replaced Justin Trudeau, his name was Mark Carney, said was, we're not going to let Donald Trump boss us around. We'll never be the 51st state like Donald Trump was saying, which a lot of people believed Trump was just saying to egg on Justin Trudeau and get his goat up, as they say. But all the Canadians flocked to this Mark Carney guy and believed him wholesale. They really thought that Donald Trump wanted to make America the 51st state. This erupted into protests, mass protests all across Canada. People were dumping their Kentucky bourbon out of their liquor stores. The premier, which is like a governor up in Ontario, wanted to cancel Elon Musk's Starlink contracts, which only worked against his people because the province of Ontario is largely rural and those people don't have good internet access. But nonetheless, everybody was really, really upset. So to this very day, there are a lot of people in Canada who are just angry at Donald Trump and really do think that even though if Canada did join as the 51st state, the Republicans would never win another election because of the way Canadians vote and their values versus American values, they really think that Donald Trump wants to make them the 51st state. So a lot of the rage and a lot of the emotions are real, and we say, Canadians, I'm sorry you feel that way, but you do, and I respect it. But there's another side to Canada not wanting to come to America. And that's a side that, as a guy that does these videos full time and does streams, which is why you should subscribe to the channel, because I will talk with you on a stream someday. There's another side of it that none of you guys see. And I'm here to tell you, it's not all about Donald Trump. Because remember that guy I was telling you about, Justin Trudeau, the guy that was so unpopular, you could have probably run a candidate that was no more than a block of wood next to him and he would have lost against the block of wood. That guy was responsible for what a lot of people thought was tanking the Canadian economy. And I mean, going back into 2024, I remember people in my live stream chats that I converse with, like I'm interactive on my streams and I want to hear what you have to say. And they were telling me that, honestly, man, Canadians are having a really hard time right now. It's our exchange rate. It's our unemployment rate. It's the amount of layoffs. We don't know what's going on. Our housing costs are expensive. And that has continued all the way through 2025. This guy, Mark Carney, whatever he does, I hope he fixes it because I want my friends and family in Canada to have a better life. But Canada just saw 40,000 layoffs and then 60,000 layoffs back to back. That's 100,000 people in a country that doesn't even have 40 million residents. That would be like if America had 2 million layoffs over the course of 2 months. Instead, we have the adjusted layoffs and the cumulative layoffs that I talked about, 800,000 for the year. But when you stack it up, maybe Canadians just can't afford to come. Not to mention the unemployment rate in some parts of Canada is quite high. You know, people can't get jobs. And if people can't get jobs, and if they have $2,000 Canadian to spend, but it evaporates into $1,400 US dollars before they come, they may be staying home for other reasons, you know? I mean, like, just think about that for a moment, right? 100,000 layoffs over 2 months in a really small economy. And down here, our economy is all over the map too. I've been telling you guys for a while, I trade in the mornings. I will just take the second to plug that because I launched my course. It is now active and live. We're limiting it to 10 people because it's kind of like your foundational members and I'm building it around what's gonna help you guys the most. So if you guys want to know how to click buttons in the morning time or in the evening time and make money when it goes up because everything is good and when it goes down because everything's bad, like, wouldn't it be nice if the United States announced even more layoffs and you sold and you made some change and you guys could possibly pay your bills easier? Go to my course. It's 1kaday.diy. We're only doing 10 at a time right now. And there's a coupon code you got to put in. You got to put the coupon code 1. Just the number 1, not finger, 1. Put the number code 1, not the word, just the number 1 in there. And it'll give you like almost the course. Put it this way, the course will cost you less than a cost of a pair of brand new AirPods. And you'll own it forever. At the end of it all, like, the economy here is bad, the economy in Canada is bad. So what about other countries? Like, are they not coming here because their economies are bad? I don't know. Let's look at Australia, the UK, Japan. Why are these people not coming? That's where we get more into the, you're gonna hate me in the comments, some of you at least. Let's discuss. I mean, like, Canada's not the only country that comes here. Of course they're not. We have people that come here from everywhere. A lot of these are like visa waiver countries, so it's not even a thing for them to come to Vegas. So we got the UK, that's one of our other biggest, hugest visitors. Canada's number 1. We have Australia. I met so many awesome Australians in this town. If you're Australian, give me a g'day, mate, in the chats. We also have Japan, all sorts of places from Asia come in. Asia. How's Asia doing? Well, Asia's weird. So nobody will tell you this, but Asian baccarat trips are up through the roof. They got money to spend and they're coming in droves. But it's the one exception, other than Mexico. For some reason, Mexicans are coming to Vegas. Yeah, you would think that they would be avoiding us like the plague for the same reasons why a lot of other countries are. And that's the negative connotations about coming to America right now. Look, when you think you might get put into a prison cell, it ain't no joke. You're not coming. Let's talk about that for a minute. And a lot of it is just public perception right now. See, like Donald Trump never said he wants to annex any of these countries, with the exception of maybe Greenland. But I don't know how many people from Greenland come to Vegas. If you're from Greenland and you're watching, be that one guy and says, I'm boycotting. Just let me know. But no, these people aren't coming in because of information that they received about taxes that are unjust, or about being kidnapped when they get off the airplane and put into a jail cell. So first of all, let's talk about that $250 tax you might have heard of. It's called the Visa Integrity Fee. And in a lot of ways, yeah, it's not very just. I mean, charging people an extra $250 just to come to your country and be a tourist and spend countless thousands of dollars, it is really hot. Subscribe because I'm sweating. It's 92 degrees and it's almost October. Because of this, people are thinking that they're going to automatically be charged an extra fee just to come to America. The unfortunate part about this is that the vast majority of people in the world who could likely travel to Vegas and afford that trip are not going to have to pay that fee. Not by a long shot. It's just been misconstrued, and I'm here to tell you, if that's what's keeping you away, don't worry about it. And you know it's a big deal when the CEO of a major company, Bill Hornbuckle, in the interview recap that we did where we picked it apart a few days ago, says, a family of four traveling international doesn't want to spend an extra $1,000 to come to Vegas. If he is using it as an excuse, it must be true, right? But I can't stress this enough. These 43 countries right here on the side of the screen, if you own a passport from these countries, you're not paying a single thing. It doesn't apply to you. And these are the countries where people can most afford to travel to the United States. Look, the world is a harsh place. And the truth is, somebody who's traveling from Mexico or the Philippines or Cambodia already has a harder time getting a visa than these 43 country citizens do. And so when they come in, yes, they have to pay the extra fee. So if it's not the extra fee that's keeping the Germans and the French and the Brits away, our biggest travelers, maybe it's the idea of being locked up and immediately being put in a detention facility. Because that would scare the hell out of me. I wouldn't want to travel to America if that could be my fate. Would you? Because the stories are out there and they're everywhere. Like the lady from England who went to Washington for a trip. She then went to Canada and came back, and when she tried to come back to Washington State, they locked her up in an ICE facility for 14 days and then deported her back. It was unjust, don't you know? Until you actually do the research and find out that she was traveling with a type of service that would allow her to exchange being a housekeeper so she could live for free and stay in the United States while she was vacationing. Turns out the Canadians realized that that was the case, barred her from coming in because she would be taking a job from a Canadian, and then informed the United States Customs and Immigration that she was doing the same thing. My point in these stories is not to infuriate you if you are on the left and make you think that I am oblivious to the fact that injustices happen. It's only to stop and make you think that maybe there's more to the story, and maybe people are just maybe not getting kicked out in mass. We've had some real experiences with people from international destinations right on our live streams. So what have those been like? Well, the good news is reports from people that we've bumped into live, like just regular folks who have come here for business or travel for a vacation, they've had zero problems. We had one guy from the UK tell us that it was actually the nicest border experience he's ever had. People from Mexico that said that they had no problem because they got pre-clearance before they left. People from Canada that said it was business as usual. So I guess your mileage might vary, and I'm interested to know in the comments below if this really does weigh on your mind. If you're international, do you worry about this kind of stuff? But if the international people aren't coming here, then where the heck are they actually going? Yeah, so it turns out that some of our biggest losses have been the other gains of other destinations. Canadians have seen Canadian tourism domestically rise 30%, up 30%. That is no joke. That is a huge number. Canadians spent more money domestically within Canada in the first part of 2025 than ever before. And as for Mexico, a country that we touched upon and said they are coming to Vegas just like normal, they're seeing the boon more than anybody else. The fun thing about Mexican tourism right now is that a lot of these people would be coming to the United States from Mexico because it makes a lot of sense. Put it this way, if you have a powerful passport, that's like access to countries where it's not a big hassle to get into the country, Yeah, if you can get into Mexico, you can go to America, but they're not coming to America. They're staying in Mexico, so much so that there's like, how many, I'm reading it here, 70 million plus extra tourists in Mexico. I don't even know how they're handling that kind of business. Like, we've got that drop of 2 million in Mexico as a whole, an extra 70 million. And as for other parts of the planet, it's largely the same. I mean, Brits are staying closer to home, traveling domestically, doing trips to other parts of Europe. You can get across Europe in a day or two on a train, I've heard. They still have trains over in Europe. We'll have a train here someday, high-speed rail. Subscribe to the channel, we talk about that kind of stuff. But yeah, if they're not coming here because of fear, if they're not coming here because of ideas that the prices are more expensive, what does that mean for you? Like, for real. How does that play out for you? The guy in Sandusky, Ohio. It's one of the people that asked me about my day trading course and it stuck in my head. How does that play for you if you're from America? Well, it means that you're going to be paying more because the issue is the fire sales haven't started yet. And I was thinking about this the other day and I want to share with you. Back in 2008, 2009, that's when the strip properties started actually giving deals to locals or doing crazy promotional things. I remember the Planet Hollywood back in the day had the press your luck, no whammies wheel, and you'd hit the thing and like literally 4 out of 5 times you would get a free buffet, buy one, get one free, half price, or you'd get $1 drink in the casino. The stuff like that has to come back and the local deals have to come back for me to think that the city is actually going to correct themselves on the pricing. And until then, I'm going to tell you, it's going to stay more expensive. Do you want to know why? Well, the answer to that, my friends, is simple. Because with the exceptions of Caesars, which Caesars Entertainment, having been just taken off the S&P 500 because they're not valuable enough, all of these companies are making boku bucks. I mean, look, right here. This is LVS, Las Vegas Sands Corporation. I think I'm going to start trading this in the mornings. I mean, it's so simple. You know, it turns purple, goes to a certain level. I mean, I'll show you the chart right here. That's why you guys do need to get into the day trading course, because you need to know how to make money when this goes and hits a red line and you click a button and then you get out when it's a certain color. And look at that, you paid your cell phone bill, or eventually you're paying your mortgage this way. Yeah, the course is in the first pin comment. It's 1kaday.diy, but you're probably never going to do that, right? You're just going to sit here and let these companies take advantage. And that's what they're going to continue to do, because as they continue to go up, they don't care about you. And I'm going to be doing a video on this channel coming up a little later on next week about how these companies can stand to lose money in Vegas forever because their endeavors are global. It's a really interesting thing that you don't think about when you just think about Caesar's Palace. But you tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, quite honestly, these companies here, they got too big for their boots and they're in some bad deals. And until things really change, these international tourists, all that money is going to be regrouped and recounted from your pocketbook with all those little fees. Those little things like the parking fee and the resort fee and the early check-in fee and the flexible secret scam pricing at the gift shops. What do they call that? Surge pricing. Until you guys stop coming or until the economy gets great, ain't nothing going to change, and you might miss your next Vegas vacation. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you're a completely awesome, amazing person like these folks right here, you're already on our Patreon. You know, I've been talking about this kind of stuff for a while. We do a couple hours of extra entertainment for people. You get your name in the comments of one of my weekly videos. You get to have your live streams after they're done, because we delete them because we say crazy things on those live streams, and current state of affairs in the world makes it scary for me to stream sometimes and be a conservative and say my opinion. But I love you guys to death, and I'm happy you watched. We do economic updates for not just Vegas, but the nation as a whole on Mondays. We do these videos on Wednesdays, and we're adding more videos on Fridays. And because I couldn't go on a streak where I didn't have a police siren, that's my cue to exit. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, click. I'll put up an economic playlist next to my head, and we'll say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click!